Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Knights of the Alternate Table. In today's video, we're going to be talking about What If France Won World War II, Part 2. If you haven't seen the first video, go check it out with the cue card right about here. Make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below an alternate country idea. You will be credited, of course, but that's for the 200 sub special. I'll be choosing 20 of them, so make sure to check it out when it comes out. Thank you so much for watching. When we last left off, France completely destroyed Germany and Poland was forced to agree to its new borders with the Soviet Union. Now, with Germany crushed, it looks more of a Germany we had today, but also with a divided Austria, Bavaria, and two French puppet states in the western half of Germany, and the Soviets slowly trying to get control of the rest of Germany and Poland itself to try and get a good puppet state involved. Now, Italy all alone would be forced to go after Yugoslavia. Franco, seeing that even though they're a weak nation after the Civil War, would join them because France would invade Italy soon enough if Italy continued this pack of aggression. But fighting a two-front war, France, even though it's confident, would not go in. So quickly, Italian forces would rush across Yugoslavia to try and take Yugoslavia out and make a good buffer state. Slowly moving through, even though Italy was an incompetent force, its military was still larger than the Yugoslav forces, so Yugoslavia would be forced to fight on an open front war, much as in our timeline, with Germany and Italy doing pretty much blaze warfare, burning everything down or destroying a bunch of buildings. This would lead to no guerrilla fighters being able to last in enemy territory, so they would have to retreat more and more. More former fascist states would start to invade, such as the newly formed Austria-Hungary, Western Austria, and Bavaria would quickly try to move in to take out these forces. Even though they were mainly monarchic, there would still be fascist supporters in the region calling to join Italy and try and take territory. They would join Italy wanting as much help as they can with their horrible treatment of the guerrilla forces, would start pushing. With Yugoslavia almost falling, being left to Macedonia, Kosovo, and parts of Serbia, they would move through Albania, just continuing on the trail, not expecting this. The Greek and Bulgarian forces, seeing this, fearing Italy would just move through them once they conquer those two places, would start putting troops on the border, preparing for a fight. Italy, seeing this, would abandon its plan to invade Greece and just pull back after it takes the rest of the forces. Serbian and Albanian forces would be forced to flee, trying to start a government in exile. But with no more allies, there would be no acceptance, so they would try and go back to France, seeing that they already stopped a fascist regime. Maybe they can help stop another one. French would gladly accept them, as they would be a useful force in case the Italians did attack, but they would not send any support for the former nations. This leads to a huge map change, with Italy taking Yugoslavia territory and Austria-Hungary taking parts of their former territory. The Soviet Union, now seeing that the Western powers were distracted with the Balkans, would slowly move in to take the Baltic states. The Baltics, having no hope, would try and fight, begging the Western powers for support, but the Western powers mainly just ignored them, as they were too busy focusing on trying to stop Italy and Spain. The Soviet Union would quickly move up through. The Baltics, seeing that there is no hope for them, would try and form an alliance known as the Baltic Union to try and quickly have a united front line against the Soviets. This, however, would be very flawed and not used. Even though they would fight for their homeland with vigorous, the Soviet Union would still have an easier time than, say, when it invaded Finland, as the Soviet Union had hordes of men to just charge. And more, instead of with Finland having the cover of the snow, by attacking in the summer, the Baltics would largely be left alone. Now, with Lithuania almost gone, Latvia and Estonia not even having the same border, they would try and hold on, but would inevitably surrender. This would hurt, and the Western powers, seeing this, would now start focusing on the Soviet Union too, building up more and more armies to face Italy and the Soviet Union. Now, seeing this, they would need a united Germany. So, Bavaria would unite with Western Austria, forming Southern Germany, even though they were not a puppet of France, and the French puppets would form Western Germany. The two Soviet-controlled German governments would not want to unite because the French would forbid it, but eventually they would be forced to by the Soviet Union. But the Soviet Union would have to bide its time. The new Mediterranean powers, making up of Austria-Hungary, Italy, Spain, and southern Germany, would now start their invasion of the rest of the Baltics, namely Bulgaria and Greece. By hurrying and trying to take out Greece and Bulgaria at this time, it would be harder fought due to the fact that they were prepared. But with Italy not advancing when they planned to, this would lead to a stronger fighting force. Now, learning from their times in Yugoslavia, they would be prepared to strike at more Mediterranean nations. Even though Bulgaria was not the same as Serbia, same with Greece, they would still push through. And Bulgaria would lose its main border with Greece and would be left with small access to the Mediterranean Sea. Once again, the armies would try and flee to France, who would accept them, but not send military aid, wanting another army. Bulgaria would be completely annexed, while the southern portion of Greece would become just another puppet state for Italy's regime. Though they would try and fight for their independence, overthrowing the fascist government that was put in place. Italy, not wanting to have to move through more of Greek territory, would decide not to get involved and just leave Greece independent. This would see a great improvement for the Western powers, allowing them to be more friendly. The next force would be Romania. Seeing that this would be a quick and easy grab, they would quickly invade. Romania, not expecting this with their new young king, would start trying to prepare a military force, though it would be too late. With the rapidly pushing powers and Romania thinking they would be safe from Italy by signing peace agreements with them, would quickly try to surrender. Italy, though, would be losing more and more manpower as they go on. Now, with Romania looking more and more sad, they would try and begin their last defense. Now, instead of looking to the Western powers who've so far done nothing, they would look to the Soviet Union, begging them to try and get involved. The Soviet Union liking to see Italy's manpower get weaker and weaker before they can just come in and dominate the Balkans, which have largely already been done by Italy, would quickly refuse the help, though send some. Romania, like much of the other great powers, would fight to the last, but being a Balkan power against a major power such as Italy and the newly formed Austria-Hungary could not handle the situation and would be forced to surrender. This would be one of the last great free Baltic holdouts, with Greece and Turkey being the only ones, though this will quickly change. Italy, not wanting to have another Greek situation, would take some land, trying to get more access to the Black Sea, cutting off Romania's trade. Austria-Hungary taking back a large parts of Transylvania. Romania would be left free, much as a Greek state, though under the protection of the Soviet Union now, as the weaker government meant they could control it more. And Romania would be grateful that the Soviet Union was now protecting their independence. Lastly, we're going to end the map of the different alliances that would be formed. As you can see, the Soviet Union would quickly grow the Comintern by taking over parts of Turkey and Greece, Britain having the Netherlands and Portugal, Italy having Spain, Austria-Hungary, southern Germany, and France having Western Germany, Poland, Czechoslovakia, and the Soviet Union, once again, controlling the last two parts of Germany. Hey everybody, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe once again. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. It was actually really fun to make. Part 3 is coming out next week unless we get a surprise of 200 sub special. So, make sure to like and subscribe. So, it really helps the channel. So, have a good one. And goodbye. Actually, no. I'm not gonna say goodbye, because I still have 4 seconds. 3, 2, before I get cut off, and which will Wow, what a great video. If you want to see part 1, it's on the left, and my most recent video is on the right, so why not check it out? Cause I think those videos are pretty good. What do you say, John? Yes. That was John. Hope you guys agree with him, and yeah, bye!